All right guys, what's up? So it has been quite some time since I made a YouTube video. I think it's probably been, it's probably been close to a year probably since I've uploaded. But a lot of big changes. Got a Kriboski, got a little home mini gym set up, got all my wrestling mats in here, so I want to kind of reestablish this channel as a haven for people that just want to see my training and have questions, and I want to try to help out as much as I possibly can. So we're just going to get straight into the workout here today, man. No nonsense. We got some overhead shoulder pressing, but we're going to do it behind the neck. So behind the neck shoulder press. We have some weighted pull-ups, and then we have some tricep work, but the tricep work is, we're going to kind of have to adjust that a little bit. I don't have dumbbells or an extension machine, anything like that yet, which, while we're talking about it, I probably won't get like a cable machine set up. I kind of want to keep the gym as bare bones as I possibly can. But we'll do some overhead barbell extension, and then we're going to finish off with some rear delts, whatever exercise we can find for that. So it might be band pull-apart superset with something, I don't know, because it's pretty limited on that. But yeah, so I moved into this crib about 2025 March, but I really don't post a whole lot of updates about major things that's happening in my life. It's more of kind of like a privacy thing, which is kind of funny because I'm making YouTube videos and posting about, workout routines and spirituality and things like that. So on top of that, yeah, as you guys can see, I got the wrestling mats, and I'm a big MMA fan. And these are actually originally my friend's mats. My best friend, he gave me these mats so to have in the meantime. So what I want to do is, you see these red areas right here, I want to fill it up with some more gray in these areas. One mat here and then one mat above there. So it's going to be very, very big. And essentially I want to have the gym more so, I don't want to have a lot of workout equipment in here. I just want to keep it to this right here, squat rack, some barbells, specialty barbells. I do need to get a trap bar, deadlift bar set up. I do need to get some more plates, but we're going to keep it pretty bare bones. That's the purpose. I don't want to have too much in here. I got to clean out some of this clutter that's in the garage, but the gym's going to be kicking here soon. I just really, as much as I post online, although I really haven't in the last year, I'm pretty antisocial. I don't really like going out and seeing a lot of people after work, especially at the gym. I just kind of want to get home and do my own thing. And this is a perfect training haven for, I get my strength and conditioning in, and then whenever I have my friends over, if they ever come over for jiu-jitsu, I come over here and train with them. And I'm going to be re-signing up at the MMA gym that I was at before, but I could say work got in the way, but it's really myself that got in the way. So it was just more of a laziness, I guess. I didn't really, when you don't feel motivated to go wrestling, that's tough, bro, because that's a hard sport. But, we're sporting the Lions still, even though we're on the playoffs. Tell you what, bro, we better get a new offensive coordinator, because I don't want to see Dan Campbell calling plays. Although we are ranked #2 offense in the league, which is great, we just have a trash defense. Injuries obviously need to get, well, the only way you can improve that is you get a better strength and conditioning coach, which the last couple of years, I don't know what our strength and conditioning coach is doing. But this is a really good point I want to tap on. Strength training in general, it should be basic. There should not be anything that you're doing that's complicated. Anything that looks like you're trying to reinvent the wheel, stay away from it. You just want to do the big basics. If you're training for football or MMA, okay, maybe you don't want to do barbell squats. That's fine. You don't have to. You can do unilateral work. You can do Bulgarians, do lunges, reverse lunges, zerchers, whatever it might be. Maybe you don't want to do a conventional deadlift. Okay, that's fine. You can do RDLs. It works. Most of the same muscle groups are there. More emphasis on the hamstrings and glutes. Maybe you don't want to do a bench press. Okay, let's do dips. Let's do some other variations. But that's the big thing is a lot of people try to overcomplicate training. And touching a little bit about my training, what I'm doing right now is excuse me, I'm doing a very, very basic 3-day split. Only 4 exercises per workout, only 4. So we're just trying to put emphasis on getting stronger. My body weight, as an update, I'm trying to update you guys on so many things right now, I'm thinking. My body weight's about 188. So I've been keeping relatively lean. I want to stay within the 180s. And I recently got my testosterone levels checked. You know, I was always curious what my levels were. And when I got them checked, stress definitely plays a big part in it. Sleep plays a big part in it. Stress was certainly increased, you can say at the least. And the sleep wasn't the greatest. So, you know, one night of sleep can really screw up your test results. But I was pleasantly surprised that when I went and I got it done, and I'll throw up a screenshot, it was 851 natural. And I was like, I love it. That's not bad. My goal for 2026 is I want to get in the 1000s naturally. So I'm going to be working to get that done. And really it's the big basics of stuff I've talked about in the past is getting in the sun, make sure your diet's good, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Supplementation's a massive one. Stress regulation. I don't know who can regulate their stress. If you can find your ways, find it. Sometimes it's hard, right? Because life kind of happens, but try to regulate it as much as you possibly can. And then your test should be pretty good. As long as your training's good, you're getting stronger. I mean, so it's just the big basics. A lot of people want to hop on TRT off the bat, which I'm not against. I do want to make this point. I'm not against it. I do want to talk about this actually. For TRT, from a biblical perspective, if you think about when Adam and Eve were on earth, Adam's the first man ever created. What do you think his testosterone levels were at? Right? He had the most perfect diet. He had the perfect environment, no stress. I'm sure his sleep was amazing. I'm positive every factor that is good, he had. He didn't have to worry about genetically modified foods. He didn't have to worry about endocrine disruptors in the environment, whether that be through lotions or deodorants or clothing, pollution, none of that. So he lived in the most perfect environment for testosterone. And I was laughing with one of my friends. I said, you know, truly, if someone nowadays gets on TRT, it's almost as if they're trying to get back to baseline, what we originally were supposed to be at. Because society tries to say it's normal for your testosterone to be like at a 600 around my age, which I'm 26. And listen, why are we trying to go for the, I guess you could say, minimum amount required? You want to maximize your life as much as possible, which is why this term of test maxing and looks maxing comes into play. And I understand why people want to hop on TRT. Just make sure if you are, you know your numbers, you continue to get blood work done, that your liver and your kidneys is fine, and that you're just keeping an eye on your blood work. Because the last thing you want to do is get on a high dose of TRT and then take some years off your life. So you want to make sure you can do it in a stable environment. But I got to say, listen, TRT for some guys, and I'm not gonna lie, have I thought about it? For sure. I've definitely thought about it because I was like, you know what, it can regulate your mood. It's gonna improve your mood. It's gonna make you feel great, which would be the main reason if I ever got on TRT, which I'd tell you guys, and you would see massive changes if I did. But I always promote, try to do everything as natural as you possibly can. If you're one of those guys where you are, your diet's optimized, your sleep, your nutrition, your training, and you're still having issues and your testosterone is still low, then that's definitely something you want to look into. I think that's fine. I mean, who wouldn't want to feel the best version of themselves? We live such a short, minuscule life compared to our ancestors that lived 600, 700, 800 years. You know, most of the average guys live until maybe 80, 90. We live such a short cutoff life. So if you want to feel the best, do it under the proper treatments and care, and then I think you'd be fine. I still promote staying natural. Yes, I am natural. I'm not hiding anything. You know, I would absolutely tell you guys, if I ever did anything, I am considering, while we're talking about it, I am considering peptides, specifically BPC 157 TB 500. I know it's all the rage. My mom and my dad actually have been using it to heal their shoulders because they were having shoulder issues, rotator cuff problems, and their shoulders feel 100% fine now. And the only reason why I'd use it is there's no injury or anything like that in general right now, but I like the idea of using it as a preventative, maybe a once a year thing as a preventative for more of the training that I'd be doing, whether this is through weight training or jiu-jitsu. I think that's a good idea because the wear and tear that your body can get over years of training can really take a toll on you. And the last thing that you want to do is work out, get these injuries, and that's the reason why you're working out, is to prevent injuries, but they kind of come near you. When you start to progress in age, they can, as long as your training's good, no major injury, you know, God willing, no major injury occurs. You know, a lot of that can be mitigated through safe training, good warm-up, things like that. But I think it's honestly a pretty darn good idea to be running that as just as a preventative, maybe once a year, because it's going to strengthen the tendons and ligaments in your body. And then, you know, some of these peptides are really good for weight loss. I'm not really sure how to feel about that. I haven't really seen the research. There are some peptides that are there for, I guess, the collagen repair or growth, promotion, I guess, to make it look facially better. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of it I don't know about. I know more about BPC than I do any other peptide. I'm pretty new to it, and you guys, there's probably a lot of you guys who know more of it than me, because I don't really pay close attention to that. I let several years go by, and then I kind of like ease into it, like, all right, what is this? So yeah, man, that's kind of all the updates and thoughts run through within this like 12-minute spiel, but I've been rambling on fast with this coffee hitting my system. Let's just go ahead, set this up. This overhead shoulder press, the behind the neck version, I'm gonna do this in place of my regular shoulder pressing. This is gonna hit the medial delt, the side delt more. Really good movement to help open up your shoulders. If done safely, can actually help prevent injuries in the future. This, along with a weighted pull-up behind the neck, is a really good idea, which I might switch and do today and show you guys as an example. So I'm gonna be so transparent with you guys. This is just my training. This is all I do. If I can get results off of it, I'm 100% sure that you guys can too. And this is stuff that's written in my Berserker program. All right, hit the link in the bio. New year, new me. It's funny that I bring that up because I was talking with my brother, and I'm never the guy to have New Year's resolutions or plans. I normally just say, no, just you do it now, which is true. Hit the plan now, but the more I was thinking on it, the more it made sense to me to say, you know what, it's better to have a plan, write it down, keep yourself accountable, than not write anything down at all and just kind of breeze through the wind. Because when you don't plan anything out, plan your meals or your sleep, maybe it's something for business. Most of this, like for physical goals, on shape you want to be, sometimes it can get pushed to the side and you don't realize it. A couple weeks go by and then you're not even on track. So I've had a new switch of mindset where, you know what, I do appreciate the New Year's resolutions and goals. And it's kind of like when you're making a sales plan. I don't know if you ever worked a sales job where you had a boss that say, okay, hey, listen, Q1 of 2026, what's your guys' plan? What's your territory? What are you going to do that's different? That's pretty much what you're doing for New Year's resolutions. And I think it's a good idea just to brainstorm it and constantly think of what you can do and improve. So I'll tell you a little bit what my goals are. Let me go ahead and get some Joe. So my wife, she's Venezuelan. I am Jewish, Polish, German. I'm a whole mixture of Europe. So with that said, whenever we have kids, I want to speak Spanish with my kids. So I'm going to be learning Spanish and I want to be fluent. That's one of the big goals. Another big goal is just continuing to stay consistent here, but also on the mat. So that's why I'm going back to the MMA gym, doing film study. Would I ever do competitions? I like the idea. So that's undecided. I'm not really sure. And if I do, I'll definitely let you guys in on that. And posting it here helps keep me accountable. Helps keep me accountable too. But yeah, so I want to do about 3 jiu-jitsu wrestling training sessions per week. That's not including shadow boxing or anything like that I'd be doing on my own. Continue to help build this channel. Continue to do great in my everyday life, my spiritual life. Continuing to stay a little bit more locked in for the diet. I don't eat unhealthy, I eat very good. Overall, I'd say 85–90% I eat very good. But I want to really just boost in and kind of eat more so like a caveman than normal. Try to get back to what we ate, what our ancestors ate, as close as I can. That doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy desserts here and there. You got to live your life, and that's cool. But what else? It's really just living a lifestyle as close as I can to what would Bruce Wayne be doing. So anything that you think he'd be doing, I'm going to be doing as well. I mean, even things like staying on top of my mobility sessions, doing film study for jiu-jitsu or MMA, and just learning more about that. I think it's really important to have other hobbies other than working out, and it keeps me motivated for my weight training when I have a goal like this. So, you know, I'm 26 and I feel good with what I've done so far, you know, what my wife and I have done so far, but I just want to continue striving, and I don't want to waste these years and say, man, I wish I took wrestling or jiu-jitsu or some of these other goals. I wish I would have taken them more seriously, especially the Spanish-speaking side too. Like, I can understand maybe realistically 20–25% of what someone says I can decipher, but I want to get to the ability where I'm speaking fluently too. So with that said, let's just go ahead and get it. So what you guys see on the bar right here is it's actually 20 pounds less than a regular barbell. The reason why is because this is an axle bar that I actually made myself, and an axle bar has a thicker grip, so when you're doing deadlifts or any barbell rows, anything like that, it's gonna work your grip more. But when I made this in welding school, which was, oh man, it's 2026. I made this about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Still good to this day. Looks like the welds were solid. So I did weigh it though a couple years ago, and it actually is 25 pounds because it's not full in here, it's actually hollow. So hopefully with all this yapping, I'm still warmed up, but get a little bit more Joe here. So this is actually this is actually 115, not 135. But this movement is extremely hard because the pushing is completely vertical. There is no, like with an overhead press, when you push it, I'll go up right here, and there's a little bit of a sway. But this right here, it's just locked into position, so definitely harder. Okay, that felt good. Let me, I'm gonna increase that weight. Go to 135 here. 135 here on the bar. Trying to explode up. And another thing in my training that I'm not using as much is this weight belt for squats, deadlifts, any overhead pressing movement. Just to get a little bit more core activation, because I'm not really doing any direct ab exercise per se. So get a little core if you don't do that. Try to get 4 here if I can, 3 or 4. Holy trombone, bro. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. That was good, though. I believe next week I can definitely add a rep or two for sure to this. All right, one more set. I'm gonna strip the weights off. I'm gonna take the 20 pounds off, try to wrap it out for, goal is to try to get like 7 or 8 here for this next set. Then we're gonna move on. All right, so another mistake that people make all the time is when they're training, they don't take enough rest. So 3 to 4 minutes rest in between sets, 3 to 4. And I would rather you guys shoot more for the 4-minute range because you need to be at your strongest, right? It is going to be those strength adaptations that help you grow. So don't mind that little mess there, bro. All right, listen, just act like that don't exist. Throw most of that out anyways. That's just a home gym for you. Unless you have your own pole barn set up where you can have it only gym, only dedicated to the gym, which is essentially what I want to have this as. But yeah, that's honestly mostly trash. I gotta toss that, and then I gotta get some horse mats for the floors here, and then we're solid. But how we looking here, bro? How we looking? Golly, that's hard. All right, let's go. Try to go for 11 there, but we'll take 10. That felt smooth. You'll notice on some of the reps, wasn't going completely all the way down, which I'm just gonna turn around to you and show you is totally fine. Some people like stopping midway. If only go all the way down if your shoulders can handle it. It is good to build up to that level. But for behind the neck shoulder press, if you want to stop a little bit below this area on your head, that's totally fine. That's all good. We got pull-ups here next. I'm just going to be exploding up as fast as I can. I'm not going to be, I just got done with my warm-up. I'm not going to be doing a slow and negative, pausing and going up. Just going to be going fast. Reason being is just because I want to have transferability to when I'm doing wrestling, grappling. I want to move this weight as quick as I possibly can, because back strength is one of the most important muscle groups for grappling. I don't think anyone would disagree. Probably other than the lower body, your back needs to be strong. So. If I was using these straps, which I have, I think I could have got one more rep, but I do want to increase overall overall grip strength, so that's why I didn't use that. Not bad. Not an overall PR, but I haven't done those in a little bit. Last couple of weeks I had to do machine work because either busy, little family trip, but as long as you can maintain some pretty powerful weighted pull-up strength, you're pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna be doing one more set, weighted pull-ups. I'm gonna do 70 pounds here because I just did 90 pounds. I did 90 for about 5 reps. So I'm gonna do 70 here for, I'm gonna try to get around 8 or 9. Still focusing on explosion, so let's go ahead and get it. again, you can feel grip is giving out, but I'm trying to enhance my grip, so I might lose a rep or two that I could normally get, which is why I had to readjust and do 2 reps after I readjust my grip. I had to get on the ground. But overall, that felt pretty good, and that's all I'm doing for back. Just 2 sets of pull-ups. That's it. So I do find the back growth's pretty easy. If you start to notice that your upper back isn't getting as developed, of course, throw in some barbell rows. That won't hurt. Do like a set or 2, and then you should be fine. But next up, do some rear delts, which might have to be via barbell, because I don't really have dumbbells, so we'll do some like high rows. And then we're gonna hit some tricep work, and that should be it. For this exercise, I'm not a fan of it, I gotta say. Really not a fan of it, because normally I'd like to do some rear delt work with like a dumbbell, cable machine, something like that. But I don't have that right now, so I'm gonna do some wide grip barbell rows. I'm not gonna pull to my stomach. I'm pulling more towards the chest to just try to target the upper back rear delts as much as I can. And then I'm gonna superset it with some reverse flies on this band. But once again, if you have an option to do something better, do it, because this isn't necessarily a favorite of mine. I do feel it though. We're gonna increase the weight by about 20 pounds because I felt pretty light. I did about 20 reps. Tell you what though, bro, that high rep, that'll gas you out. Get some water right here. Gonna try to keep the back a little bit more flat. It's a tiny bit rounded, but that's good. Triceps now. We got just one more thing. Tricep staining, overhead extensions, but with this, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it light here today. I'm not gonna push this one too hard. I'm just trying to I'm trying to go for blood flow more than anything, because I feel when I go a little too heavy on skull crushers, extensions, anything like that in general, my elbow, it doesn't feel bad, but you feel a little something, and I don't really want to aggravate anything, so that's another reason why I'm considering BPC 157. But we're just going to crank out 2 sets of 12 to 20, and we're just going to leave it like that. Maybe superset with close grip push-ups, but we're just trying to keep it basic, simple. Once we get actually a bench, it's going to be much easier, but something simple here. All right. Can definitely feel that. We will do a little superset though. Damn, that's already. Wow. Feel that already, bro. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in. Workout was solid. I'm going to be continuing to be progressing on that overhead behind the neck press, rather. So, yeah, I'm just chilling right here. I just got my King Cat, my LV. Don't let me get a hold of you, bro. Promise you. But after the workout, I had some spaghetti meatballs and some ground beef. I got to go back in the kitchen and get a little bit more on that, though, and grub down. And I'm considering if MMA is open tomorrow at the gym. Maybe do a little bit of the open gym. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. More soon to come. Apologize for the serious lack in consistency, but hopefully these next videos I'm putting out is going to help make up for some of that. So, see you guys.